As a minister, you must build the church first and foremost in homes as instructed by Jesus Christ. The early church was centered in the homes of believers. In fact, there were no church buildings until about 200 years after Jesus Christ. The early believers had to open their homes and show hospitality to one another, or else the church would have had difficulty surviving. You see, when believers were persecuted and forced to flee to other cities, they had no place to live. When missionaries and evangelists traveled about, they needed a place to stay, and many of them were poor. The inns were just too dirty and immoral. Therefore, room and board had to be provided for them in the homes of the believers. Hospitality was an absolute essential for the early church, and it is an absolute essential within the church today. For love and care and ministry and close fellowship, it is almost impossible to maintain a loving and caring church and a dynamic ministry unless believers are fellowshipping together in their homes. In fact, Jesus taught that we are to use our homes as centers of Christian love, fellowship, and outreach. We are to open our homes without grudging, murmuring, or complaining. We are to willingly and cordially open our homes, open them joyfully, expecting things of God. What would happen if we began to set up a home within every community for Jesus Christ? A home that was a center for love, fellowship, worship, and outreach. It is our prayer that God would touch the hearts of many ministers and churches to adopt this very method laid down by Jesus Christ himself. The bishop or minister must be given to hospitality as outlined in 1 Timothy, the 3rd chapter and the 2nd verse, where it says, "A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. He must be vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, and apt to teach." Also, Titus, the 1st chapter and the 8th verse says, "But a bishop or minister must be a lover of hospitality, a lover of good men, must be sober, a just and holy and temperate man of God." All believers must open their doors even to strangers in need, outlined in Hebrew, the 13th chapter and the 2nd verse. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware.
You've been faithful, you've been true, and you've done all that you could do. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You applauded for the rest. it's your time to be blessed. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You've been faithful. You've been true. And you've done all you could do. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You applauded for the rest. Now it's your time. To be blessed. And for your faithfulness. It's your time. You waited for so long, but you held on and you were strong. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You encouraged everyone else when you needed it for yourself. And I want you to know that for your faithfulness, it's your time. You waited and waited. You have waited for so long. But you held on. You were strong. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. You encouraged everyone else. When you needed it for yourself. And for your faithfulness, it's your time. This song is dedicated to all of you who have been working in the vineyard for the Lord for what seems like a lifetime. You have dreamed and you've worked towards things that you wanted to accomplish for yourself. But somehow your biggest goals always seem to be just out of your reach. But the Lord told me to tell you that He knows who you are. Yes, He's seen your work, and He's also seen your tears. And He wants you to know today that you're not forgotten. He's here to reward you for all your faithfulness. For He said in His word that if you will delight yourself in Him, He will give you the desires of your heart. In other words, not only will He give you what you need, but He promised to give you whatever you want. So don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Hang in there and prepare yourself for your blessing. It's your time now.